Tonight, we turn our attention to the far north, to a place where the wilderness meets the world and where the unexpected can send ripples across the globe. A sudden and unprecedented shutdown of Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport has sent shockwaves not just through Alaska, but across continents, disrupting lives and global systems in ways few could have imagined. This wasn't just about cancelled flights or delayed vacations. It was a security threat that froze a vital link between continents, leaving thousands stranded and authorities scrambling for answers. Anchorage, often seen as America's last frontier, is actually a global crossroads, a critical hub connecting North America and Asia, where the world's goods and people intersect. Every day, hundreds of cargo planes land here, making it one of the busiest cargo airports on the planet. Billions of dollars in goods pass through these runways, fueling economies far beyond Alaska's borders. The shutdown didn't just strand tourists, it choked a major artery of international trade, halting shipments, delaying deliveries, and sending shockwaves through supply chains worldwide. This event forces us to reconsider Alaska's strategic importance in a new, urgent light. Suddenly, the world is reminded just how crucial this remote outpost is to global stability and commerce. Why was such a drastic measure taken? What could possibly justify shutting down such a vital facility, risking economic and diplomatic fallout? What threat could ground all air traffic at such a vital facility? Was it a credible security risk, or something even more complex? We'll examine the official statements, piece together the timeline, and look for clues in the chaos that unfolded. We'll also explore the cascading effects on people, businesses, and international relations, stories of confusion, frustration, and uncertainty that played out in real time. The silence at Anchorage International Airport was deafening, and the reasons behind it speak volumes about the new security challenges we face in an interconnected world. This is more than just an airport closure. It's a wake-up call, a stark reminder of how quickly the world can change. The Arctic is rapidly becoming a new focal point of global competition and concern, with nations vying for influence and resources in this strategic region. Stay with us as we uncover the details, unravel the mystery, and reveal what this unprecedented event means for the future of Alaska and the world. To truly grasp the magnitude of this unprecedented shutdown, you need to understand the unique and pivotal role Anchorage International Airport plays in global logistics. Since the days of World War II, its strategic location, almost equidistant between Asia and North America, has made it the ideal refueling stop for aircraft. While passenger routes have evolved over the decades, Anchorage's significance for global commerce and trade has only grown stronger. Today, it stands as one of the world's top 5 busiest cargo airports, with logistics giants like FedEx and UPS landing and taking off around the clock. The airport serves as a critical node in the global supply chain, efficiently moving everything from high-tech electronics to fresh Alaskan seafood. Its runways are shared with Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson, highlighting Alaska's crucial role in U.S. national defense. Fighter jets stationed here regularly intercept foreign aircraft that approach U.S. airspace, ensuring national security. Anchorage operates as a dual-use facility where civilian commerce and national defense activities coexist seamlessly. Shutting it down disrupts not just travel plans, but also the vital flow of goods and military readiness, impacting both civilian and defense sectors. That's why last week's events were so alarming and drew significant attention from around the world. The crisis began without warning on the morning of August 5, 2025. At 7:30 a.m., the FAA ordered a full ground stop at Anchorage, citing a national security directive. Flights on approach were diverted, those preparing for takeoff were halted. Over 200 passenger flights and more than 300 cargo flights were canceled or rerouted, stranding thousands. International carriers diverted to alternate airports, throwing global logistics into chaos. The airport transformed into a fortress, with law enforcement establishing a tight perimeter. Official statements were scarce, fueling anxiety and speculation. The shutdown lasted 72 hours, with mounting economic costs and growing frustration. Supply chains for critical goods began to strain. This was no longer just an aviation incident, it was a full-blown national security crisis. The world watched, waiting for answers. As the shutdown entered its second day, the official narrative slowly emerged. The Department of Homeland Security confirmed the closure was a precaution based on credible, specific intelligence. The FBI called it a complex and ongoing national security matter, hinting at a sophisticated plot. On the ground, elite federal teams swept cargo areas and terminals, while the Coast Guard and NORAD heightened their alert. This was a coordinated, multi-agency response, far beyond a typical security scare. On Friday, the government announced a phased reopening, stating, "The threat has been mitigated." No arrests or details were revealed, leaving many questions unanswered. The primary goal, reopening this vital hub, was achieved. The silence was broken, but the mystery remained. Anchorage was back online, but the world was left uneasy. The 72-hour shutdown sent immediate shockwaves through the global economy. With Anchorage offline, shipping costs between Asia and North America soared. Airlines rerouted flights, adding millions in operational costs passed down to consumers. Just-in-time supply chains were severed, delaying auto and tech manufacturing. Alaska's seafood industry, reliant on air exports, faced devastating losses as perishable goods spoiled. The shutdown exposed how interconnected and vulnerable the local and global economies are to a single point of failure. Companies are now rethinking supply chain risk, prioritizing resilience over pure efficiency. The Anchorage event is a case study in the dangers of over-reliance on critical hubs. The economic shockwave will drive long-term changes in global logistics. Beyond economics, the shutdown upended thousands of lives. Over 8,000 passengers were stranded, with tourists, families, and business travelers caught in limbo. Many slept on cots in the terminal, relying on airport staff and volunteers for essentials. The lack of information heightened anxiety and frustration. Anchorage's tourism industry took a direct hit, and remote communities faced delays in mail, medicine, and groceries. The heavy security presence created unease, and rumors swirled across social media. The event shattered the community's sense of security, revealing the airport's global significance and its risks. The human toll was measured in stress, uncertainty, and a loss of innocence. The shutdown ignited a political firestorm in Washington. Lawmakers demanded answers. Were existing security protocols for critical infrastructure enough? The event exposed vulnerabilities in the Arctic, a region of growing competition with Russia and China. The administration walked a fine line, projecting calm while withholding details to avoid panic and protect intelligence. Critics accused the government of lacking transparency and questioned the drastic response. In response, Congress introduced the Critical Infrastructure Defense Act, calling for more funding and advanced security for key hubs. The Anchorage shutdown became the catalyst for a strategic pivot toward Arctic defense. Military planners now warn that melting sea ice opens new avenues for potential threats. The Pentagon is pushing for expanded presence and upgraded defenses in Alaska. The political legacy, a stronger, more visible U.S. security posture on its northern flank. The Arctic is now a front line in global security. To decode the Anchorage shutdown, we turn to a range of security and transportation experts, each offering unique insights into the magnitude of the event. Their perspectives help us understand not just what happened, but why such drastic measures were taken. A former DHS official suggested the response pointed to a complex threat, possibly a coordinated infiltration, a sophisticated cyber attack, or even the presence of a chemical agent. The scale and speed of the shutdown hinted at a scenario far beyond a routine security scare. The time was needed to sweep and secure the entire system, not just search for a device. Every corner, every corridor, and every access point had to be checked, ensuring no threat could slip through unnoticed. Aviation analysts noted the focus on cargo areas, often described as the soft underbelly of airport security. Here, the sheer volume of shipments makes it impossible to screen every package, creating potential vulnerabilities that adversaries could exploit. If an adversary wanted to smuggle a weapon of mass disruption, Anchorage would be a prime target. Its strategic location as a global cargo hub makes it both vital and vulnerable, amplifying the potential impact of any attack. The complete halt suggested authorities lost confidence in isolating the threat without a total stop. This level of response is rare, reserved for situations where the risk is both immediate and potentially catastrophic. Geopolitical experts saw the timing and location as significant, potentially a form of gray zone aggression designed to test US response and sow chaos. Such tactics blur the line between peace and conflict, making it harder to identify the true source or intent. By targeting a key economic node, adversaries can impose costs and demonstrate reach without open conflict. Disrupting Anchorage's operations sends a message to both the US and its global partners about the fragility of interconnected systems. The consensus among experts is clear. This was a watershed moment, revealing that modern battlefields now include our most critical infrastructure. Airports, once seen as mere transit points, are now front lines in a new kind of conflict. The goal may not be to destroy, but to paralyze networks, disrupt daily life, and undermine confidence in our ability to respond. The Anchorage shutdown is the first major example of this new doctrine, where disruption, not destruction, is the weapon of choice. Our economic lifelines are now our biggest vulnerabilities, and the stakes have never been higher. We must defend them as if they are military front lines, because in this new era, they truly are. As Anchorage reopens, a new era of vigilance begins. The unanswered questions are shaping the future of Arctic security. Watch for increased defense and homeland security budgets, with new investments in radar, drones, and hardened infrastructure. The shutdown provided the political justification for long-requested military spending. Expect a more visible military presence, more patrols, joint exercises, and advanced assets stationed in Alaska. NORAD will likely increase intercepts and publicize deterrence efforts. For citizens, this means more news about military operations in what was once a quiet region. The Arctic is now officially a front line. The Anchorage shutdown was a warning. Our interconnected world is fragile. What happens next depends on our collective resolve to protect it.